the U.S. top military brass, as well as the European brass and the British, believe that they can ride this out and that they just need more time to prepare the next generation drone tech that they'll use to swarm Russia, paralyze their government in Moscow, possibly achieve regime change. And by doing this they'll win the war of attrition in terms of technological warfare. That is the absolute belief at the British level and at the European level. There's a few X factors that would cause this to collapse. One of them is the lack of mobilization of able-bodied males from Ukraine to fight in the interim. That's obviously something that's not going well for Ukraine. The other is the political time clock on Zelensky. This corruption scandal is seeking to address that issue. The other is the political time clock in Europe, which is the European appetite for a proxy war against Russia in Ukraine. Now, the corruption scandal, as you rightly point out, Jamarl, the fact that it's come out of NABU is not a U.S. agency. NABU is a Ukrainian agency, but it's been micromanaged from its inception by the United States, by Victoria Nuland herself out of the U.S. Embassy, as it was put together in late 2013, was then formalized after the Maidan coup in February 2014. And the only reason I understand this and know this is because we've done extensive reporting on Biden and Burisma corruption in Ukraine at 21st Century Wire, and we have probably one of the best archives on this topic. So I know that NABU was set up and the United States had implanted their key people, U.S. loyalists and operatives, inside NABU. NABU was designed, it's my opinion, and I'm not alone here, okay, that NABU was designed as a corruption surveillance agency. What the U.S. was concerned about was they wanted to know what corruption was going on and be able to head off any potential investigations into corruption investigations that might implicate U.S.-friendly partners in Ukraine, specifically to do with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, that whole sort of cartel that was involved in that. The fact that it's coming out of NABU means that the guardrails are off for Zelensky. That means that he has now been somewhat hung out to dry. It's a major warning shot. The protections aren't there. And that's understandable. I don't think this would have happened under a Biden presidency. But nonetheless, it's a wildly corrupt country, as you rightly pointed out. But that doesn't mean there aren't patriots in Ukraine that have been within the parliamentary structure: Konstantin Kulik, Andrei Derkash, Alexander Dubinsky, all of which are either thrown in jail by Zelensky or have fled the country because of threats to their life. Any actual anti-corruption deputies in parliament were chased out of the country or thrown in jail.